Welcome to your weekly technology segment from the NASDAQ market site. As the first week of June came to an end, there were lots of unanswered questions about the NSA's PRISM program. The companies that were cited by the British newspaper The Guardian denied knowledge of the program. Earlier this week, The Guardian obtained a top-secret document, a 41-slide PowerPoint presentation, that the NSA obtained direct access to the systems of tech giants, including Apple, Facebook, and Google. The Obama administration acknowledged the existence of the program and said that only foreigners are targeted and the program is authorized under U.S. law. Now, the president addressed these surveillance programs and said nobody is listening to your telephone calls. He emphasized that the programs are overseen by Congress and safeguards are in place. Also, that the program has struck the right balance between protecting Americans and protecting the privacy of citizens. Meanwhile, Verizon Communication was also in the hot seat earlier this week. This came after The Guardian reported that phone records from U.S. Verizon customers were collected under a court order. According to the paper, the government obtained phone numbers of Verizon phone calls, the duration and location, as well as the time of when the calls were placed. Now, the order does not allow the government to listen in on the actual phone calls. The accuracy of the story and documents were not necessarily confirmed. Now, while counterterrorism tools are useful to thwart threats, questions over privacy and civil rights remain hung in the air. The Change Campaign Committee also issued an emergency petition that called for a congressional investigation. Meanwhile, looking ahead to the upcoming trading week, two big events are taking place in California. Ahead of the Apple's annual developers conference, there are plenty of expectations. The tech giant will showcase the next version of its mobile OS and the next version of the Mac OS X. Also, Apple reached deals with major record labels at the end of the week. This has heightened expectations that Apple will unveil its internet radio service next week. On Monday, the WWDC will kick off at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. It's been almost 9 months since Apple had its last event, and the company has faced some controversy over e-book pricing as well as tax evasion. It will be interesting to see what comes out from the event. And speaking of conferences, the E3 also kicks off in LA. The Electronic Entertainment Expo runs from June 10th to the 13th. Now, pre-show press conferences from some big names include EA, Microsoft, and Nintendo and Sony. And that does wrap it up for your weekly tech segment from the NASDAQ market site. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.